Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Grace. Today we are doing a classic crock-pot slow cooker fall recipe. We're making chili. Now this is different from my classic Midwestern chili recipe. If you haven't checked that recipe out, be sure to do so. I will leave a link to it below in the description and up above at some point in this video. I've got an amazing traditional classic chili recipe. Today, we're throwing a twist on it and we're doing venison chili. A lot of us know or have family members, close friends who like to hunt every fall. And sure enough, we have some ground venison to use up. And so I have it cooking over in a skillet. I'm browning it with my garlic. I'm going to put all of the ingredients and directions in the description below for you. This chili recipe is easy and it's amazing. It's perfect for any fall, winter day, weeknight meal. We're doing it tonight because we are busy on the go the next several nights. It's a quick dinner. It reheats well. Let me tell you, as a busy mom, there's nothing I love more than a dinner recipe that tastes even better when it's reheated than when it's originally eaten. I know. Okay, so I'm going to go get my meat here on the stove. So this is my ground venison, and I have thoroughly browned it. I put in about 4 tablespoons of minced garlic and cooked that in with the ground venison. Now venison is a much leaner meat than beef, so you're going to see some interesting ingredients we're going to add to this chili to counteract that gamey taste that deer often has. This is a recipe though. You're going to love it, and you're going to find that you might prefer this recipe over regular beef chili. I'm going to go ahead and carefully put this into my slow cooker. It's hot, so I'm going to be careful. And honestly, with ground venison, you don't even have to drain the grease off. There's no grease, which I love. All right, and I like to start with my dry ingredients and add the liquidy ingredients later. That way when you're adding like your beans, it doesn't splash the hot liquid back out at you. So I am going to start with a can. Now, when it comes to beans for chili, do what you want. Everybody's got their own preference. I love to use stuff I have on hand. I'm going to show you examples of that for this chili recipe. I have, from the last time we made chili, Mrs. Grimes' original chili beans. I'm just going to use it up. And I'm going to just dump it right on in. Not going to drain it. All right. However, when it comes to black beans, I do like to rinse them off. So I'm going to go rinse these off in a strainer really quick. Rinse my black beans off, and I'm going to just dump them right on in. Y'all, chili is one of those recipes with a lot of cans. If you don't have one of these automated can openers, let me tell you, I used to use the stand-up one for the longest time. And then I saw these and I was like, oh, the heck, they're amazing. And my kids love them. It's super easy for them to use to open up cans when they help cook. All right, and now when it comes to like tomatoes, tomato sauce, everybody's a little different. Some people really like chunky tomatoes in their chili. We happen to have a couple of picky kids and they do not like big pieces of tomatoes. So I'm gonna do half and half here. You want about 28 ounces of tomatoes, which is this size can compared to a normal 15-ounce can. And so I'm going to do 1 can. It's seasoned diced tomatoes for mild chili, so it's kind of already seasoned for chili. And I am going to dump, maybe, I did open it, there we go. And I am going to dump that in. And I feel like these are pretty small pieces of tomatoes in there. So if you've got people in your family, they don't really like big tomatoes, this is a great can to use. So then I'm going to use not the entire, if you really like tomatoes in your family, feel free to add as much as you want. However, we're not the biggest fans of it in ours. And so I'm only going to add maybe 1/3 to 1/2 of a can of crushed tomatoes to my recipe. It's interesting to me the color variation that you will find in your different cans of tomatoes and tomato sauce. Okay, set that aside. And I'm gonna give this a little mix, just a little bit. And my little can of tomato paste happens to be flavored with basil, garlic, and oregano. It's kind of hard to fit the little guy in there, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. The first one was a little less, the second one a little more. With chili, you don't have to be exact, which is always nice. Might be wondering why we're using tomato paste. This recipe does not use tomato juice. A lot of chili recipes like to use tomato juice. We're going to use beef broth instead for ours and combine that with tomato paste. And now we're going to get into the good stuff. Oh, I forgot my onion, you guys. You can use yellow onion, red onion for chili. I'm going to use red onion today. It was kind of a big onion, so I'm only using like half of it. Again, onion is one of those personal preferences, so add as much as you want. Okay, I'm gonna scoot this over just a little bit so we can see a little bit more. We're gonna start adding our seasonings here. And let's start with paprika. You want about 1 teaspoon of paprika. Now, if you want to, you can use one of those store pre-made chili packets. I use those sometimes, but I happen to have all these seasonings on hand, so I'm just going to use what I have. We're going to grab some cumin. You want about a half teaspoon here of that, not a full. And we are going to grab chili powder. I'm using mild chili powder. If you have super spicy people in your family, feel free to use the hot chili pepper or hot chili powder. I'm using mild because our kids are going to eat this as well. You want about 2 tablespoons. Mine is still covered in tomato paste. It's okay. Perfect. Now here comes some fun ingredients. We're going to grab some cinnamon. Gotta love cinnamon. Cinnamon is a nice addition to chili. We're gonna do about half a teaspoon or so. Gonna grab some Worcestershire sauce. I could say it today. Sometimes you can say it 3 times in a row, and sometimes you can't say it once. And we want to do about 1 teaspoon. At the very, very end of this jar of Worcestershire sauce, so I'm going to just use it up. And then we are going to grab our beef broth. Open this up. And depending on how many beans and how much meat, I'm using 1 pound of ground venison, but if you're making a bigger batch of chili, you may want to add more broth. I'm going to do about, I want to do about 1.5 to 2 cups of beef broth. Which is about half of this particular container. Let's do just a little bit more. Okay, put the lid back on. Now here comes the amazingness. A lot of people are worried about eating venison because of the gamey taste that it has. I'm gonna show you a secret. Okay, I got this from hunting friends of ours that eat deer meat all the time. So basically I've cut 1 lime and 1 orange, and we're gonna squeeze the juice into our chili. I know, who would have thought, right? Chili already has so many nutrients in it with all the seasonings, the tomatoes, onion. So adding fresh citrus is kind of just a bonus. It's a very juicy orange. Okay, let's set that aside. We're gonna give this a really, really nice stir. Again, you want to get that tomato paste kind of worked in. As it heats up, the tomato paste will kind of melt down. You're going to want to stir this probably once every hour, hour and a half. I'm going to cook mine on high because I'm shorter on time today, but chili is one of those recipes you can cook on slow and then turn it to warm and leave it on warm for like a good 2 to 3 hours, and it holds amazing in the slow cooker. So just cook, use your own slow cooker, your own cooking time that you have available. Cook it on slow or high. You want to give it a stir probably every hour and a half. Set the spoon down here. So now it comes down to one last thing, and that's peppers. I have a whole variety of peppers here. We garden. So I have got regular jalapenos that have turned red. I have other jalapenos that have also turned red. We have banana peppers. I have long, slim, red Jim peppers, I believe is what they're called. I grow these every year. These are amazing in chili, and that's totally up to you if you want to add them to your whole batch of chili or if you want to cut them up and save them for individual bowls based on your eaters' preferences. We have people in our family like it mild, we have people who like it hot. So I'm leaving the peppers out of my big batch of chili until later. Now when we get to about an hour before the chili is done, I will probably cut up the banana peppers and put those right on in. When it comes to fresh jalapenos, I would add them in as well. You can always add more to individual bowls. As far as using jarred banana peppers and jarred jalapenos, I feel like they do best fresh when you put them right onto your bowl of chili before you eat it. So we're gonna put the lid on here. And again, today I am cooking mine on high. We're gonna get her cooked up good, quick. And then we're gonna leave it on warm throughout the evening as our family members are coming, going, and eating dinner on their own. So I will show you what this all looks like, and when it's ready to go, we'll make a nice bowl of chili with some sour cream. I'm gonna add banana peppers to mine, and we'll show you what this looks like later. All right, here is our venison chili. It is simmering and hot. I have turned it down to just the warm setting on my slow cooker because we'll be coming and going all evening, and so we'll be eating at different times tonight. I have added banana peppers to mine, and I'm gonna add a little sour cream as well. I know my kids always add cheddar cheese, and my husband adds the jalapenos. Thank you all for watching today. I hope you love this chili recipe, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, and again, the recipe to pin and save it on Pinterest is in the description below too.